Sparta, more than just kicking people into pits. Hey there, history buffs and students. Ever wondered what it would be like to live in a society where your worth was measured by your ability to withstand pain and shout, "This is Sparta," at the top of your lungs? Well, buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into the fascinating and often ridiculously brutal world of ancient Sparta. Get ready for a wild ride through military training, questionable social practices, and enough historical anecdotes to make your toga spin. Sparta, also known as Lacedaemon, try saying that 5 times fast, was a city-state in ancient Greece that made tough love look like a gentle hug. Imagine a place where your parents practically encourage you to steal food, and your biggest accomplishment before turning 10 is surviving a beating from a slightly older kid. That's Sparta for you. The Spartan population was neatly divided into 3 groups: the Spartiates, the full-package citizens; the Helots, the doing-all-the-work slaves; and the Perioeci, the jack-of-all-trades craftsmen and traders. Think of it as a historical version of a tiered subscription service, except the premium package involves constant military training and questionable hygiene. Forget summer camp. Spartan boys were thrown into the Agoge at the tender age of 7. This wasn't your average arts and crafts kind of program. The Agoge was a state-sponsored education, military training, and socialization system designed to turn boys into the ultimate warriors. Think of it as Gladiator School meets Lord of the Flies, with a dash of extreme makeover, military edition. The Agoge emphasized obedience, endurance, courage, and self-control. Basically, they wanted to create soldiers who could withstand anything, except perhaps a decent meal. Rations were meager, and boys were encouraged to steal food to supplement their diets. It was all part of the training, of course, or at least that's what the Spartans told themselves. Let's be honest, Sparta wouldn't have been Sparta without the Helots. These were the enslaved people who handled all the day-to-day tasks that kept Spartan society functioning. They were farmers, domestic servants, nurses, and even military attendants. Basically, they were the backbone of the Spartan economy, even if the Spartans treated them like Helots. The Spartans, always outnumbered by the Helots, lived in constant fear of uprisings. To keep the Helots in line, they employed a variety of tactics, ranging from humiliation to outright murder. One particularly charming practice involved forcing Helots to get drunk and make fools of themselves in public as a cautionary tale for young Spartans. Because nothing says self-control like watching someone else embarrass themselves after too much wine. While other Greek city-states were busy debating philosophy and building temples, Sparta was focused on one thing: war. Male Spartan citizens were allowed only one occupation: soldier. From the moment they entered the Agoge, their lives revolved around military training and service. Spartan boys endured brutal physical challenges, constant competitions, often involving violence, and a general lack of comfort. Those who showed leadership potential were selected for the Cryptia, a secret police force tasked with terrorizing the Helot population and eliminating potential troublemakers. Think of it as a historical version of the Purge, but with more sandals. When heading into battle, a Spartan soldier or hoplite was decked out in some serious gear. We're talking a large bronze helmet, breastplate, ankle guards, a round shield made of bronze and wood, a long spear, and a sword. And let's not forget the signature long hair and red cloak, because even on the battlefield, Spartans knew how to make a statement. The Spartans were masters of the phalanx formation, a close, deep formation that allowed them to make coordinated mass maneuvers. It was all about teamwork and discipline, which is probably why they weren't big on individual expression. After all, who needs individuality when you can move in perfect unison with a bunch of other guys in bronze armor? While Spartan women didn't participate in the military, they were far from being passive bystanders. They received a formal education, separate from the boys, of course, engaged in athletic competitions, and were allowed to own and manage property. In many ways, they enjoyed more freedoms and power than their counterparts in other Greek city-states. Marriage was a big deal in Sparta, as the state put pressure on couples to produce male children who would grow up to be citizen warriors. Men who delayed marriage were publicly shamed, while those who fathered multiple sons could be rewarded. It was all about ensuring a steady supply of future soldiers, even if it meant putting a little pressure on the dating scene. Despite their military prowess, the Spartans eventually met their match. In 371 BC, they suffered a devastating defeat at the hands of the Thebans at the Battle of Leuctra. And to add insult to injury, the Theban general Epaminondas led an invasion into Spartan territory and liberated the Messenian Helots, who had been enslaved by the Spartans for centuries. The Spartans continued to exist, but as a second-rate power in a long period of decline. In 1834, the king of Greece ordered the founding of the modern-day town of Sparta on the site of ancient Sparta. So, if you ever find yourself in Greece, be sure to visit Sparta and pay your respects to the slightly less brutal descendants of those legendary warriors. Sparta's legacy lives on, inspiring countless books, movies, and video games. But beyond the myths and legends, there's a fascinating story of a society that valued discipline, courage, and loyalty above all else. Whether you admire them or find their practices appalling, there's no denying that the Spartans left a lasting mark on history. So, what do you think about Sparta? Was it a noble experiment in creating the ultimate warrior society, or a brutal regime built on oppression and violence? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more historical deep dives, and share this video with your fellow history enthusiasts. After all, knowledge is power, and in the world of ancient Sparta, power was everything.